Good morning, everyone. After a short period of break, we are back on Eat, Live and Be Well. And this time we'd actually like to start by focusing on the teenagers and youngsters who are about to go on holiday. My name is Dr. Nturibi, and this is Eat, Live and Be Well. Now, as part of the work we've been doing, the question has been asked about children and teenagers. When do we consider that they are actually overweight? And is it really an issue? Can children and teenagers become overweight? From a traditional perspective, for a long part in this end of the world, we were more concerned about children and teenagers being underweight. And this was because of limitations in access to food. Now, interestingly, in the recent few decades, we have seen a change, especially in the last 2 decades. We've seen a significant change in this scenario, and we are now having children and teenagers who are overweight. But how do you define this? How do you know when you look at your child whether they are having an ideal weight or not? For children, ideal weight depends on their age and their height, okay? And since there's really no practical way for even a medical person to remember these details, there are actually charts and calculators that are used as a guide. For you as parents and those concerned out there, see the link below here, and this is a link from the CDC website, and it's a very simple to use calculator that will give you an accurate result. You're going to feed in the date of birth of your child, then you're going to put in the date when you are doing this check. You're going to put in the height of your child and the weight, and at the top of the page you can actually select whether you want the fit system, where you can say my child is 1 foot 5 inches, for example, or whether you want the metric system where you can say my child is 130 centimeters. Now, once you put in your data and you hit calculate, it gives you a result that is based on something called a percentile. Now, based on studies that have been done on groups of children, typically in the more developed world, we are still actually to do this kind of studies in Africa or for our populations, but based on these studies, you get a guide of what an underweight child should be, what a normal weight child should be, and what an overweight child is. And for most children, the range is from the 5th to the 85th percentile. So that if a child is below that, then we say they're underweight, and if they're above that, we say they are overweight. And you don't need to remember that. The calculator will give you all the feedback at the bottom. You can see the screenshots attached here. I used this to calculate for my own son, who is about 9 years of age, and a height of about 128 centimeters and a weight of about 25 kilograms. And that is the result shown. Now, this then helps you know where you're starting from. And of course, the concern we are now getting, especially in the more urbanized Kenyan settings, is that children are tending to being overweight or obese. Now, what is the cause of this problem? Now, that is multifactorial. One of the big problems we're having is that just like us adults, children are also consuming high calorie foods, okay, or foods that are extremely high in calories. And this is happening because of a lot of changes, but generally, as parents, we are also quite ignorant about what is ideal nutrition. And consequently, then we are feeding our children what we think is good. Many times we are giving them what they want, because then, you know, how they can push us when the time is right or when they feel they need a treat. And we are building habits that are not sustainable for health. Okay. The second problem is we are having an epidemic of underactivity. Now, children typically need to have at least 1 hour of physical activity a day. And that is even why physical activity, PE, is built into school programs. Now, in today's world, even in my own family, given the chance, the kids will sit and play on gadgets the whole day. Some children, not everyone, but a majority of them. So parents and institutions and teachers need to intentionally make time to have the children out there engaging in physical activity. So it is a combination of these two factors that is causing the current problem we are seeing, that our food is not ideal, and the physical activity is not adequate. Therefore, as parents, let us get informed about what are ideal food choices. Let's encourage our children to be active. Ideally, get active with them. Okay, set a good example. It is also going to be great for your health. Here at Eat, Live and Be Well, we are concerned with these matters, and we're here to educate you and help you understand and walk with you along this path. For those of you who have children who score high on the weight chart below, then please feel free to get in touch with us and we'll guide you on how to help them make the changes. Parents, I want you to understand, if your child is overweight and obese, the problem is not with the child. The problem is with you. Therefore, the solution starts with you. Trying to put our children through programs or to shame them into losing weight or eating less does not work. It creates medical conditions we're going to talk about in the subsequent, over the next few weeks. Therefore, parents, the change starts with you. Reach out to us here at Eat, Live and Be Well, and it will be our pleasure to work with you. My name is Dr. Nturibi, and have a lovely week.